Good morning, everybody. It's not Monday morning; it's Tuesday morning. But as always, I have said that if we're not going to do it on a Monday, we'll definitely be doing it on a Tuesday morning due to public holidays and things like that. So we have got an amazing person and expert on our call today. In Andrea Dix, and I want to introduce you to her in a second. But first of all, for those of you that are brand new on the calls, these calls we bring you for a 30-minute, half an hour of power each Monday morning at 9 a.m. Today being Tuesday because I spent the last 4 days at the Professional Speakers Association convention. So that's been an amazing whirlwind journey, and thus I couldn't come to you yesterday. And next week, I think. Next week we're back normal on Mondays. So if you're not a member of our Ultimate Business Support Facebook group, please become a member. Come along to the coffee chats. There's lots of insights. There's a lot of amazing experts that we get on these calls that are complementary to helping us build our small businesses and share some insights, tips and tricks and very practical stuff. So let's get into it because our guest is on the other line. She hasn't been well. She accidentally had a freak accident of hurting her leg into a filing cabinet, a metal filing cabinet. Actually, she's coming to us from hospital because she had an infection there. But as we know, if there's responsibilities we have to fulfill, and we can do that, we do that from anywhere. You guys know I was coming to from hospital, I was having babies and all that sort of stuff. So let me introduce you to Andrea, and then we'll get her off mute. And by all means, if you have questions or queries or comments, post them up either on Facebook Live or those people that have come and logged in through GoToWebinar. All right, so let me give you my official introduction and then the less official one if you like. So Andrea Dix is the founder and signature of Iron Butterfly, a platform for transformation in women's health and well-being. With 20 years in the fitness industry as a trainer and coach, Andrea has helped countless women reshape and regain their bodies and self-confidence. With her encouraging, energetic, and relatable nature, Andrea is able to inspire women to recognize and reconnect to their existing qualities to assist in their transformation. Using her own personal experience and journey, Andrea is a mirror to others in providing a highly knowledgeable and transparent story on how she overcame her own limiting beliefs and confidence issues to become the Iron Butterfly. Throughout her career, Andrea has seen the toll that ignoring your health has on creating and sustaining a personal and professional life. She has since developed a tailored system for today's busy woman that tweaks the ineffective strategies that causes the imbalance between health and success and creates the platform for becoming visible and irresistible in business. And the less official introduction is that I have known Andrea for the last 3 years. We have networked and hung out and bumped into each other many times. And last year, early December, I hired her as my health mentor and coach. And you have to say, my arms and biceps are looking pretty good, right? And I have lost the weight that I put on. I've put on 5 or 6 kilos through the year last year because of all the travel and being out of routine. And I just wanted to have someone that I could be accountable to, and someone who had the smarts and the tweaks that I didn't know of. So Andrea, I'll get you to come off mute from your end and say hi.
Hi everybody. That makes me sound really awesome, doesn't it? That profile. Yeah. Even I want to know. Even I want to know myself.
I know it always feels funny someone reading out our bio, and
it does.
Yeah. Have I done all of that? Really? Awesome. So let's get
I know.
because these sort of 20 odd minutes that we have together go super, super fast. And I've got 3 questions that I want to ask you around your expertise, but then I've got my standard 3 questions that I always ask towards the end. So my very first one for you is, well, what do you think is the most common mistake business owners make in regards to their health?
The biggest mistake is just not focusing on their health or thinking that health is not as important as their business.
Yes, right. And
So just clearly, just clearly not paying attention.
yeah, and why do you think that is? Is it because there's no pain around it as yet, if you like?
Yeah, I think that too many people wait until something happens until they make it a priority. And we don't want to do that, obviously. You don't want to wait till something dramatic happens before you do something. And I think that, with business and creating, purpose and gathering, we live in a very a lifestyle now where everything's instantaneous and you can get everything really quickly. And I think that lure and that attraction to that is really exciting. And I think that health isn't. So I really reckon there's something around that as well, that we take it for granted that we get up every day, we wake up, we do what we need to do. We just take it for granted.
Until one day we can't get up, or we get sort of stuck in some kind of being not well, and and
it's not always so dramatic either. Like, even like yourself, just feeling tired because you've got such a busy lifestyle. So I think those little telltale signs are feeling tired and feeling run down and, not getting enough sleep. And they're little telltale signs that something's a little bit off and you should start paying attention.
Yeah, beautiful. So how do you help, how do you shift someone's mindset, I guess, when, uh, you know, well, I guess maybe at what time would people look out for someone like you? Of course, everyone should have someone like you, I believe, but, at what time, like, is it like myself when I was feeling tired and I felt like I needed to find and tap into more energy and obviously to regain the ideal body weight that I wanted to be at?
Yeah, look, I think you're a different caliber as well. There's people out there who are in business and understand that it's important, and you won't be as productive and you won't produce, the business that you want if you don't start looking after that. So, everyone falls into sort of different calibers of where they're at. But I think, people just, it's whether they feel it's impacting their life or not when they think that they should get someone to help them out. And a lot of people will not do it because it's a financial thing. They don't believe that they're worth spending money on them to better themselves. So it's a real mindset shift. So how do I shift that? I get people to come back to their values. So you understand that health is important in order for you to keep going in your business and to keep going to the next level. But there's too many people who don't value it. So I come back to basics and make it very, very clear that if health and wellness is not in their top 5 of their personal values, it's going to be very challenging for them to actually make any shifts and changes to focus on that. So I definitely start with values.
Yeah. And what do you think is the connection between health and success in business?
Well, as I said earlier, that if your body is slowing down and being tired, you just won't be as productive. You won't be as efficient. Yeah. And how can you get up and stand in front of people and inspire and motivate if you've got bags under your eyes and you're tired and your skin's sallow and, you just haven't got that spark? You just won't be as productive. And as business owners, if we don't produce and we don't generate, we don't have a business.
Yeah.
And we don't have clients.
Because you get to a point of like being too tired, and when we're tired, we actually experience feelings of depression and sadness, I guess. And often I say to my clients, if you have been going full on, you can feel super depressed and have the blues because you just if you like. It's a different state. I know sometimes when I start feeling sad or depressed, I need to have a couple of days off. I need to go have a rest. And then I ask myself how I feel after that. So, but if you're feeling that all the time, you're not looking after your health, then you could also be in a really low, crappy mood, if you like.
Yeah, absolutely. And it will impact so many things. People don't realize that how quickly all those feelings bleed into other areas of your life. It'll bleed into your relationships. It'll bleed into your business. It'll bleed into, what you eat. So, everyone knows if you feel a bit crappy, you go and eat the wrong things. It's just,
Mm.
So, and it's understanding how foods affect you as well. So, I'm a big believer in educating clients about, do you realize that those foods affect those hormones, and this is why you go in that cycle. So it's trying to break that cycle as well.
Cool. So we love practical stuff. So let's get into your top 3 tips that business owners can do right now to increase their output and feel happier, but without turning their life upside down. Everyone is after an easy, I guess, formula, if you like, as we know in marketing terms. But I'm sure there is also, it's not that hard. Now that we've been doing this for 5 or 6 months together, it's really becoming as part of the daily routine, if you like, or habit, or something that you can't live without. So what are your top 3 tips that you can share with our guys here via UBS?
Yeah, well, the first thing is it's not hard. People just have this big, massive, overwhelming conception that, being healthy is hard. I have to overhaul my whole life in order to feel better. And it's not. And you would attest to that too, wouldn't you, Nat? I've actually made it quite simple for you.
Yeah. Yeah, totally. It's
Yeah, so it's just debunking all those myths about that health is hard and difficult, and I have to go on massive diets, and it's not like that at all. So it's just, my first one would be just believe that it's simple. Okay, yeah. It's the marketing companies that make everything so difficult. You should eat this, you shouldn't eat that, this is good for you. But the problem is that most of the things they're saying are good for you actually aren't. They're probably the worst things. So it's very, very challenging it's confusing, all the information that's out there about this. And so my first thing is to make it simple. And yeah, sometimes you do have to get people to help you make it simple. So without turning your life upside down, just believe, firstly, it's easier than you think.
I love
and the second thing I'd like to it's just easy.
Can I just add a little tip on that? Is at our retreats we actually yell out, "This is simple, this is easy, oh my God, this is fun." And it's something that I learned at our marketing masterclass, because usually what we do is not as simple as easy, but if we can embed those sayings as if an affirmation or something that we yell out, then we start to believe it. It truly is.
It truly is. I believe that too. So yeah, you're right. So it's just saying, it's just believing for a start. It's easy.
Awesome. Number 2.
And the second thing would be the second thing would be is to go back to your values again, and put your health and well-being in your top values.
Cool. Yep.
So for me, for example, it's just my health and well-being is my top number 1 value. Because I know that if I don't operate and function at the best level, then nothing else happens in my life. And it's a non-negotiable. So that's where exercise becomes non-negotiable. Except
I say this.
Sorry?
How does a person do that? How do you put it at top of this? What's the practical side to putting or raising health further up in your values list? Because I say the same thing.
It's all those questions. Yeah, so you have to dig deeper. So it's about asking questions, and this is where you need someone to help you as well. It's, just ask yourself some questions. When people say, I want to lose weight, you'll go, why? Well, I want to, look good in clothes. I go, yeah, but why? It's about why, digging deeper and asking more questions about how that impacts your life and how it makes you feel. So just ask yourself those questions, why is feeling good important? And you need to get to those questions around it. And it's just, and even if it doesn't feel right in the beginning, just understand and believe, like you said earlier, just believe that it's important.
So
I don't think you can ask any person and they won't be able to answer that health is important. They understand it.
Yes. Sorry? What you're saying is, sorry, I think we might have a little bit of a delay, is chunk it right down. So maybe even asking the question, well, instead of saying why, maybe what does it mean? What would that mean to me? And what would that mean to me? And what would that mean to me? So you can go to the root cause.
Yes, exactly. So I think that's the problem that I've seen along the way with clients, is that if they don't value their health, they're not going to take the actions and do the things that need to be done to support that.
Awesome. And number 3, what's our number 3?
Number 3 is just to make different choices. So instead of choosing something that you know is not right for you, choose something else.
Mm.
You know, they say that when you go into supermarkets, to shop around the outside of the supermarket, because that's where most of the fresh stuff is. You
Yep.
know that all the aisles, everything on the inner aisles are all plastic and processed and what have you. And so, yeah, shop around the outside.
Cool.
It
Yeah.
comes in a bit of plastic. You usually shouldn't buy it because it's usually man-made.
Yeah. And for me, traveling, I guess when you get faced with a restaurant menu, it's so easy to go for the chicken parmigiana, right? But I'm now looking. Actually, I've made a choice not to eat bread or like complex carbs. I would say 85% of the time. I'm not into this all or nothing kind of attitude. So I look for those things, and then I can have sort of a meal that has sort of just like a treat every few days or even just once a week.
Yeah, and this whole thing about rewarding yourself with food. I mean, and that's another sort of thing we need to get away from as a society as well. That
Mm,
it's, why do you need to reward yourself? I've had people go, I've had a really great workout and I'm going to have some cake as a reward. I go, that's just silly.
yeah, 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 yeah.
But it's, for you, it's easy. It's great with you, Nat, because you're very coachable and you go, right, if you tell me to do that, I'll go and do it. But most of the population unfortunately isn't like that. So it's just really simplifying everything, and that there's easier choices. Most restaurants will know these days that people have allergies and
Yeah,
concerns with food, so they're very open and flexible to changing the menu for you if you need, like, I don't want that sauce, or I don't want that, or and it's actually a lot easier than you think.
yeah, it is. It is, and they always have the healthy options as well. I mean, after all, even
And when you travel, there's supermarkets.
yeah, yeah. Well, that's what I do. I do, and
It's just asking the question.
yeah, beautiful, awesome. So,
Yeah. So
any
it's,
other
yeah, it's
any other superstar tips that you have, like that you can share quickly before I ask you my three questions?
well, look, as I said, it's just make it really simple. And this whole paleo myth about, oh, no, I shouldn't say myth, eating as a caveman does. And I think I live by that. It's, if it's real food, just eat it, and if it's not, well, you don't. It's just, I think that's as simple as that. So
Hmm.
keep it as natural as possible, and then you just really, you'll have so less health problems than doling up on processed foods and foods that just aren't real foods.
Yeah, beautiful. So tell me, how do you achieve balance in your life? Obviously, we know it's health and everything that you value as well, but you've got a busy life as well, and how do you achieve that balance between running your business and having you time?
Yeah, look, I think it's ingrained in my life now. It's just part of my routine. So apart from when you fall over filing cabinets and end up in hospital, that's, it's funny. That's, to me, I don't consider that as part of my health. That's just a freaky accident that I have to manage. So,
Hmm.
but the balance just comes from, it's part of my normal routine now. So I don't even think about it.
You just get
So
up.
I know that if I need a bit more sleep,
Mhm.
yeah, I know if I need a bit more sleep that I'm run down, so I'll make the effort to go to bed a bit earlier, or I'll, dose up on some magnesium or something like that. So I'm very in tune with my body and what it needs and what it doesn't need. So I guess I am ahead of the pack in that regards. So I'm very mindful. The word mindfulness is very good in health and well-being, because if you're not in tune with your body and what it needs and what it doesn't need, that leads to a lot of health problems.
Yeah, yeah, beautiful, awesome. And how do you get yourself out of mental funk, as I like to call it? You've heard me talk about it before. How do you, when you're going through moments of, is this going to work? Is it not working? What is it that you do to step yourself out and regain positive mood and way forward in your business?
Yeah, look, sometimes you just have to take a bit of time out. Like you said earlier, you know, take a couple of days away if you know you've had a busy, hectic week. It'll just be as something simple like, you know, go out and go for a walk, take the dog for a walk or something like that. I have down days like just like everybody else. You know, it's very hard being in a hospital, and you know, I didn't have any breakfast this morning. I just can't eat that. It's just, I know it'll make me feel, I know what it does to my moods when I eat the wrong foods.
Yep.
So you know, I sent my partner out, and he brought me back, you know, all vegetables and stuff like that. So you know, but yeah, it's just snapping yourself out of it, and you just change state. Go for a walk.
Yeah.
You know, I eat chocolate just like everybody else. You know, sometimes you do need some stuff like that, but I know it makes me feel quite revolting soon after. So I go, yeah, okay, I don't need that anymore.
Yeah.
But you know, it's all about allowing yourself a little bit of lots of things
Yeah.
and not overindulging in too many areas. So that whole thing about, you know, everything in moderation, that's a great rule. It's never gonna lose its power, but it's just everything in moderation.
Well, you know what they say, rules are actually made to be followed, not broken. And if you follow the rules, we're
Exactly.
talking about some foundational stuff and basic stuff that everyone should know. Um, um, but do they fully live it? And I guess maybe some of the people who are on this webinar right now watching on Facebook Live, it's a great reminder. It's a great reminder, and to um, uh, restart if you haven't been doing anything, and get back on a new routine and habits. And yeah, I can already feel. I mean, I know that it takes 2 years and 1,000 times of repetition to build a new neural pathway around this. So that is why I committed with you for a year at the at the least. To make sure that I build this new neural pathway around how important, because for me it was I wanted to have exercise as a regular part of my weeks, right? So a minimum of 4 times, if not more, and to be making the correct choices, especially when traveling, because my life, it ain't going to change. It's just going to get busier or more travel or whatever it is, and I need to learn how to manage that. So if people at least start, if they're in a sort of more regular routine in their homes now, then they'll know how to handle it also if they went out on the road and traveled. Yeah,
And
beautiful.
as you know, you can do anything, anytime, anywhere, right? It's
Yeah,
not hard to just do a little bit here, a little bit there. So, you know, the biggest advice I can give is just, yeah, don't make it so hard. It's simple. It's
yeah,
simpler than you think it is. Just get some advice and get some direction.
yeah.
And, you know, it just takes time.
Beautiful. And what's one tool? This is our last question, before we start to wrap all this up for the guys. What's one tool that you'd like to share? What should someone have? Like, I mean, it doesn't have to be around health. It could be a business tool that you use, or it could be an equipment to do exercise, that you would recommend that's really handy that you can take anywhere. Like, is there something that you'd like to share with our listeners as to what your recommendation is around your either business or health tool?
Yeah, I think the easiest thing would be to say, you know, the band that you went and got, the resistance band, those things are fantastic. They're so versatile. They take up no space in suitcases or anything. You can use them anytime, anywhere, inside, outside, and there's so many exercises you can do with them. And you know, you can do them while you're sitting down at your desk. For me, I consider that a business tool and a health tool.
Yes.
Because it allows you to continue doing your business, and as you said, that pathway, it gives you that mindset that you know that you're feeling you're doing something,
Mm-hmm.
and the action of doing something will actually breed more confidence and more consistency. So,
Yeah.
yeah, the resistance band, you can get them anywhere, you know, Kmart's, Rebel, anywhere, all different price points, but they're so simple and they're so versatile.
Mm.
And so many exercises you can do with them, and they're not hard. You
Yeah.
know, all levels of fitness can do them. They're not hard.
I know you got me to go out and get one, and I took it to Perth, and we're doing exercises there. And I've forgotten to bring it here to Brisbane, but that's okay. I'm sure you're going to get me doing something different here. But yeah, the resistance band would be an awesome tool to have everywhere. Someone's asking online, are you a fitness instructor? I personally am not, but I am interviewing someone who is, and that is Andrea Dix, from Iron Butterfly. Awesome. Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Andrea. I know it's been a tough time infection, but I know you're a pocket rocket and that you turn up no matter what. And I wish you a very quick recovery so you can get back into your, awesome, amazing self, buzzing around everywhere and inspiring all of these people that, are waiting for your return. Cool. I don't know. I think.
Thanks, Nat. Yeah, look, it's as you know me, as I said, this is not me, and setting my eyes really hard. So thank you.
Yeah, awesome, awesome. Pop yourself back on mute if you can from your end, and I'll just wrap up with some concluding things that we do on these calls.
Right.
There was a couple of there was a question.
Okay, thanks so much.
Okay, bye, bye. Okay, cool. Bye. Just someone's on the line that says it's very hard for me to stay on track around my period. So Nada, I'm gonna get Andrea to respond to that in the Facebook message, and maybe she can give you some tips around that. So that'll be super awesome. So just as we wrap up, we've got 3 or 4 minutes. We always go through. I'm just gonna show the people on Facebook. This is Andrea's contact details if you want to get in touch with her. Andrea Dix at ironbutterfly.com.au, and you can check out her Facebook page. She's super awesome. She lives and breathes everything she teaches. As I said, I get to hang out and enjoy her company as well as her ass kickery every week, twice a week, and then I do my own exercises as well another couple of times. So just as we wrap up, I just want to put your attention to our Ultimate Business Support annual membership, which is just $247 and gets you an entry into our monthly city events around Melbourne, Sydney and Adelaide, and as well as a stack of other bonuses that you guys can see on here, especially a 2-day brand accelerator masterclass, which in itself is normally just $247. So consider becoming a member and contact me, and I will connect you with your city leader, as well as you get inner circle membership, like monthly webinars, so much around this. Our next live events are 19th of April. Sydney and Adelaide, and then Melbourne on the 28th of April. So what I might just do is pop these links into the chat box. So let's pop it on here. And so any of you on the call, if you're from Sydney, first link is Sydney. Second link will be Adelaide. I'll pop that on there. And the last link will be for Melbourne. And I know in Melbourne for sure that we do have the amazing Con Itrue as our speaker this month, who's on personal branding expert. Last thing, we ran a webinar last night, which was to talk about our hot seat days that are coming up in Diamond Creek in Melbourne. And there's going to be an option of 2 days, 26th of April and 14th of June, 9 to 5, where we are doing the next 90 days of action for business owners in a mastermind type setting, and you're getting some one-on-one personalized look at your business. So if you're interested in that, we are having a live streaming version as well. So last night we talked about it, just private message me. There are 3 spots in April and 4 in June left over, and that will be it for those ones. So my last quote of the day before I let you go, as we were talking about health today, is that so many people spend their health gaining wealth and then have to spend their wealth to regain their health. So don't be one of those people. Focus on your health. It will make you wealthier, but then also you can enjoy it and live a long, prosperous life with travel and all of the things that you've worked so hard to gain. So, guys, it's been a pleasure. Thanks again to Andrea for stepping up and sharing her expertise on this call. It's an important topic. We should be revisiting it every few months to just keep reminding you of what's important and how we can have you around for a lot longer, right? I would like to be. See you guys. Have a great day. Bye.